get up, get up, get up.
What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Mets'd podcast, episode number 146. We missed you. It's been a week. It's what we're doing here in the offseason, unless we got something important to talk about. Right now, there's not a whole lot going on in Mets world, but baseball still goes on, as we know. Unfortunately, we're going to talk about what happened in the past week, and anything that is Mets related that we can possibly talk about, we will. So that's what we're going to do this episode. If you guys are not yet following us on all our social media, make sure you are at Mets'd on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're looking for the YouTube video, go to the New York Mets YouTube channel, subscribe over there so you don't miss out. And if you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Odyssey, wherever you get your podcast, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download and subscribe so you don't miss out. James, back at Citi Field.
Yes.
Weird again. Still
So
feels weird to be here. Where
this was weirder than the other ones. Now it's over.
Yeah, no, it really hit that the season's over. Like
on the 7 train today, I was like, oh god.
Like we were just on the 7 train with people that were commuting to and from work.
Yeah, home.
Yeah, looking to go home.
Yes.
We were coming to Citi Field to do a podcast.
Gotta take it back.
Yeah, I mean, it feels weird, especially with what's been going on in baseball and the fact that the Phillies are in the World Series. I mean,
Pretty crazy.
It makes me sick to my stomach.
It doesn't make me that sick for a couple of reasons.
I know why.
Well, we had 3 reasons, I guess, then. One reason is because I kind of predicted this. Like, I told everyone they were really good in the offseason. In a roundabout way, it wound up becoming right.
They're just, like, not that good, though.
But they got the perfect amount of variance. They hit it the right way. They signed Kyle Schwarber. That changed everything. I talked about that all last offseason. And the other one is that we beat the piss out of them all season.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why also I don't feel bad about them being in the World Series. Because, like, oh, here's a team that we very clearly were better than the entire season's in there.
So 14-5?
I think something like that.
Yeah.
And the third reason is that they're just, they've been kind of likable. Like, they've been fun.
I know they have been. That's the worst part,
right? Like, that Bryce Harper Moneyball video is, like, sweeping the nation right now.
It's so annoying.
It's one of the best edits that's ever been made, and it's really cool. But, like, it's so frustrating because, like, you watch the NLCS between the Padres and the Phillies, and you see 2 players, the best players standing on each side of the field, Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. They're both free agents, same offseason.
Yeah.
Every single team in baseball had a shot to sign them. Those guys didn't get signed until the back end of the offseason.
March, right?
The precipice of spring training. Literally 2 guys who are on Hall of Fame tracks. 2 guys
100%.
who are, Bryce Harper won the MVP last year. Manny Machado was kind of crazy. He hasn't won one yet. I think all the writers hate him.
He just loves being top 5 in MVP every year.
But like he does it every single year. Like those 2 guys are 100% on a Hall of Fame path right now. 2 of like by far the best players this generation. They're both free agents at the same time. Two things that everybody needs, like a power hitting outfielder and an incredible third baseman on both sides of the ball. And everyone was like, I don't think so.
I remember that offseason, I was still in college. I believe I was in my last year. Was that 2019?
2019.
Yeah, 2019.
Yes.
So that was my final year of college. And every single news break would happen on a Tuesday and Thursday, which was the only days I had class. And I was in class from like 10 a.m. to 7 o'clock at night. I'm like, I did this schedule for a reason so I could make YouTube videos still. And somehow you're finding a way to break news Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah, the Harper and Machado chase in that free agency year was insane. And the fact that
so low.
I mean, like both of them, so incredibly good. I think at some point,
it's like
I think at some point every Mets fan, myself included, I'm sure you said it too at one point, has called Bryce Harper overrated. But I think at one point in time,
sure, yeah.
One point in time, not in the last like 3 years.
God forbid.
No.
And
we're very against the overrated chance.
There's a call for Mets fans. Some players will deserve it. I mean,
100%.
Maybe heading into the next few years, like who's the guy who's like going to be we should call overrated?
That's a really good question.
That's a good question.
Who is?
Good.
I don't know. Like if you had
content.
Cody Bellinger. But
yeah,
everyone knows.
No. I mean, I'm thinking specifically on teams we don't like.
You also like have to kind of be a villain to get that chance.
Cardinals, Braves. Who would you say most overrated player in each team?
Ronald Acuna's probably that guy right now.
That's what I was gonna go with.
Yeah.
But that's also like a poke the bear kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't want to wake him up. I want Ronald Acuna to stay at
Cardinals
his...
players like Edman. You can't tell Tommy Edman he's overrated.
Yeah, no, he's actually probably extremely underrated.
He's 170 pounds soaking wet. But I mean, it's just it was a call to Mets fans to never call Bryce Harper overrated.
Yeah,
again,
we need to
the
stop
guy's
that.
a freaking. He's so good. And like it's just like, I don't know. Emotion in baseball is cool. Like seeing him be like, "This is my team." Like seeing
sucks.
Also the fact that the Phillies series it lined up for 3 home games over the weekend. They won all of them.
I know.
And just like the place was packed every single day.
It's awful. It's terrible.
Seeing those awful people celebrate.
I
don't have many problems with most of the Phillies players besides like Rhys Hoskins, Harper sometimes.
Yeah, I don't like Hoskins. I don't like Jose Alvarado.
No, don't like Jose Alvarado.
No,
at all.
Syndergaard's on my list a little bit too.
Yeah, no, Syndergaard's getting there. I mean, I just eternally respect Gene Segura, but
That's your guy.
yeah, he's one of my guys.
Like everyone else, I don't dislike. This is probably one of the more likable Phillies teams, which I hate to say because boy oh boy am I rooting incredibly hard against them. Get a let's go Astros chant going
Let's go Astros.
I mean, thank God that happened. Thank God the Yankees lost.
Briefly speak about the Yankees because that was just an ass kicking. This is something that like As a Mets fan, you probably wound up after these playoffs feeling very dejected, feeling very sad about the outcome. But at least like we knew that the way the season ended, like it was our fault. These were self-inflicted wounds. Like Max Scherzer is one of the best pitchers of a generation. He had a couple bad starts. Chris Bassett, incredibly reliable all year, a couple bad starts. It was just like we saw our bats get hot and cold, oscillating all year. We caught a cold week and it happened to be the most important one.
Yeah.
You look at the Yankees and the Braves as well. They were playing well, and they just got beat by teams better than them.
Yep.
Like that is something that that would be a whole nother level of emotion to try and peel back if we rooted for those teams. The Yankees were chanting, "We want Houston."
Oh my
and then
God.
Didn't win a game. Didn't they play? Wasn't the stat that they played like less innings than the Mariners did in less games?
Well, I mean, the Mariners them did have like that 18
Yeah,
inning
for sure,
game,
but that was much more competitive.
I mean, yeah, the Yankees got
the Yankees couldn't. People giving the Mets crap. The Yankees couldn't even get close.
got housed.
Close to packing a stadium.
No,
in a playoff game.
couldn't sell out, and that was for
No.
an American League Championship Series game.
Yeah, and the Astros again. The Astros are a juggernaut. The Astros are the best franchise in baseball
We
over the
respect
last
the hell
half
out of them
decade.
on the Mets'd podcast.
I can't stop respecting the Astros, but like
Lots of respect.
it's like it's also funny that like the Astros cheat and the Yankees take them to 7 games, and the Astros I guess are not cheating allegedly anymore, and they sweep them.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have let them cheat, guys. You guys harped on that for years and years.
I'm sure some other stuff was going on. For
Jim
everybody.
Bob Media selling Astros apparel.
Yeah, that was bad.
Imagine
was
that.
bad. Yeah, I mean, it was really nice. It was really nice to see them lose, just because with Phillies fans making the World Series, unless we're really traveling to Philadelphia or you have a social media presence online, you probably just ignore it. You can miss it.
It's also just like it's this weird thing in our brains where we crushed them this year.
Yeah.
So like I just don't feel any kind of aversion because it's like, oh, I know
I hate them.
I don't
Root
like
against
you,
them.
and we were openly better than you.
Yeah.
We honestly, if there's anything that
Oh, don't say it.
I mean, we got George Roy fired.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay. I thought you were gonna be like, well, we did beat them. So
No.
yeah.
I wasn't gonna be like World Series by transitive property.
Yeah,
I was not
okay.
gonna say
Good,
that
good,
because that's
good.
absolutely
God.
not true at all. But it's like,
Animal.
yeah, we had a big hand in this because we killed George Roy. So I guess shame on us. And it's also talked about this so much beginning of the year. The freaking schedule. Playing the Phillies 12 times in a month and a half, just putting them in the dirt, making them hit rock bottom, then letting them rebound. And we didn't get those easy games against this Phillies team to keep ourselves afloat late in the year. Terrible.
It's crazy how every year, like, you kind of trick yourself into thinking that the beginning of the year matters as much. And we said it too, like, every game does matter, but really you just get hot at the right time. That's really
sure.
all it is in baseball at the end of the day. Because, like, on paper, no one's saying the Phillies are the best team in the National League. Not even close.
No, of course not. They were the last team in the field. If
Yes.
they didn't change 2 rules this year, this never would have happened. First of all, the playoff format allowing the Phillies to reach it as the 6th seed in their own conference football mode. And then the universal DH allowing Bryce Harper to play for an entire season when he needs Tommy John surgery. Like, what a bad break is that for everyone else?
Little peek behind the curtain for you guys. James texted me, this is your fault. Because this is what I wanted. Because I've been fighting for the DH forever. He's like, are you happy? You get the DH now the Phillies make the World Series. And
That's
you know
it.
what? I'm upset.
It catalyzed it.
And then-
If there was no universal DH, I guarantee you the Phillies would not have made the World Series.
100%.
There's no way.
like, it allows for their absolutely horrendous defense to just be forgotten about because you have an elite hitter in the lineup.
Bryce Harper would have not even been playing. He probably would have opted for Tommy John surgery because he wouldn't have been able to play baseball.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper probably wouldn't have played baseball for the last 3 months.
Can we talk about that game, by the way? Between the Phillies and the Padres, where Bryce Harper comes up with a man on in the bottom of the 8th,
Yeah.
and Bob Melvin does not go to Josh Hader, the best left-hander reliever in baseball. He leaves him in the bullpen through 1 inning in the series. One inning.
And he got 3 strikeouts.
Got 3 strikeouts, and Robert Suarez stays in, and Bryce Harper hits an absolute nuke. And obviously we know what happens with the Phillies there. But then he doubles down on horrible decisions and bunts with Trent Grisham, 1st and 2nd, 1 out, down a run in the 9th inning. I can't even wrap my head around how backwards that was. That's like, I don't even think 1940s managers do that.
This makes it, again, now more frustrating for Mets fans
Yeah.
because the Padres are who we thought they were. A team that really wasn't that good. They have a bunch of good starting pitchers and a couple clutch bats. And Trent Grisham went back to normal the rest of after the Dodgers series. That was nice. Austin Nola stopped hitting. He did get the big home run off of his brother.
But you bunted to get Austin Nola to the plate.
I mean, that's what you do when you have a premier power catcher like
Get your
that.
9-hitter
Yeah,
up.
the two best catchers in baseball in this series, JT Realmuto and Austin Nola. God damn. No, that was terrible to watch because, I mean, you just, again,
You lost to stupid.
Come back to what we said all the way. Yeah, come back to what we said all the way in the beginning. If the Mets would have played to their peak potential, they would have won.
100%.
And we know for sure these were self-inflicted wounds. And
Yes.
now is like, how many weeks later is this? We're talking about this. God. That's also why we can't talk about the offseason yet, guys.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm storming Marks too. We're in freaking Citi Field. The body's barely cold.
Yeah, it's
As horrible as that is to say, it just kind of is. Like, I don't know. It happened so fast.
we got off the 7 train. We happened to be on the same train together. Just by happenstance, good timing by the boys, and there was a bunch of people outside. Citi Field. What do they know? Do they know the season's over? Like this is messed. This is messed up. That you see, you like that we're seeing people hanging outside of Citi Field almost as if there's a game to be played.
They were French, so I get it.
Yeah,
The guy had a ponytail and a Kevin Durant jersey. It's a rare combination.
Poor pick of basketball team to root for.
Yeah.
Oh
All right,
god.
I'm gonna do a couple stats now just to be funny.
to wrap up this.
to wrap up the playoff talk because it's depressing. But I still want to talk about it because it's compelling, and then we'll give predictions and whatnot. So, Mark, can you recall the last time the New York Yankees won a playoff series against a team that was not in the American League Central?
I don't know. It was against the Oakland A's.
No, that was a single game.
Okay.
That was a single game. I think that was a 2019 wild card game.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, Severino, and I think, I don't remember.
Lou Trevino, I believe. Or no, I think Liam
there-
Hendricks. I think Liam Hendricks started that game.
They definitely did use an opener, though. I remember
Yeah.
they tried to get cute, and the Yankees just hit a lot of home runs.
Okay, so that's not it.
That's not it, no. The last time the New York Yankees won a playoff series against a team not in the American League Central,
So the Twins are the Guardians.
yes, Twins are the Guardians, and I guess they never actually ran to the Royals.
No, I don't think so.
No,
Because they would have lost.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and in this time, give the Yankees credit. They haven't lost a series to a team in the AL Central.
Yeah.
So you have to give credit where it's due. Tip the cap to the New York Yankees. The last time the Yankees beat a team not in the American League Central in a full playoff series, more than one game, was 2012. 10 years ago against Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles.
God.
To give you a sense of how much time has passed.
Full circle.
And that's the only one that they've won since the 2009 World Series against a team not in the AL Central.
It's impressive.
It's pretty unbelievable.
That's a Tim Kirkshin stat right there
Yes,
for us.
for a team to have been that successful over this amount of time in terms of playoff berths, wins, just exit velocity, because the Yankees fans were bitching about that. Yeah, it was pretty crazy that they haven't won a playoff series against a team not in the by far worst division in baseball over the last 2 decades.
You know what's one of the funniest things that's happened since all this stuff in the playoffs? Everyone, or I shouldn't say everyone, the people who hate the analytics, they're out loud and proud right now.
Crazy.
They're like, this is why the Yankees can't move on. This is why the Dodgers can't move on, because we're using too much analytics. We're not just playing baseball the right way. It's like, no. It's because they just lost.
Yeah. I think Mike Petriello, he had a funny line. It was probably even like during the actual regular season, but it was all the people who use the term analytics when they just say things that they don't understand.
Have no clue what it means.
But he said what that word should be replaced for is just simply information, because that's all it means.
Yes.
Or like data. So like all these teams should stop using data. All these teams should stop using information.
Just go out there and play.
There was a guy who I found out was actually not being satirical, who said the Astros beat the Yankees because they have a real manager who plays with his gut. The Astros, if for anyone doesn't know, use by far the most extensive branches and arms and network of analytics in the entire, probably more than Fortune 500
They
companies.
literally hired a dude from Twitter, MLB Random Stats, Jeremy Frank, because the dude's just got a lot of information.
And another guy, Connor Kirkon, they hired him 2 off seasons ago to be in their R&D department. These people were literally just smart on Twitter, and they hired them. Jeff Luna, who has been dismissed, built this team from working at McKinsey, the consulting agency.
Oh, wow.
That's who built the Astros team. He built this team with that kind of idea in mind. I want this team to be as cutting edge as possible.
James Click has moved it forward too.
Yes, and James Click, God, oof, that guy's a freak. I also love how there was these side by sides of the Yankees and Astros executives going making rounds about look how fresh all these guys are, look how old all our guys are. Guys,
Had to clean house.
they all got fired
They had to
for a
clean
cheating
house.
scandal that you guys talked about for years on end.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, the Astros are just probably the smartest organization in baseball.
They're probably the smartest organizations in the United States of America.
They're really good.
Any field.
They're really good.
They're incredible. They're a well-oiled baseball machine, and I don't know, six straight appearances in the American League Championship Series.
That's what,
And I think 4 victories.
as a Mets fan, you got to
Yeah.
know it takes time. And I think if you can take anything, we want to be like the Astros. So 6
sure.
ALCS in a row. That's
Last
unbelievable.
offseason wanted to be the Dodgers. You know what now?
I want to be the Astros.
Astros.
Because you know what the
Done with
Dodgers
the
can't,
Dodgers.
Dodgers can't seal the deal ever.
They got a lot of losers in that locker room for sure. It's just crazy. These guys go the same year, but now I got to do one last stat and we'll wrap up.
Yeah,
Then we'll
let's
just end
give me some more
predictions.
analytics.
This is, I guess, is analytics. This isn't really analytics, but Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler, they are leading the charge for the Philadelphia Phillies. The one thing that made me think that they would be so good this entire season, in fact, they have 2 horses at the front and 7 good hitters, including Kyle Schwarber, who I wanted to mess aside. But that's neither
both
here nor
did.
there. Yeah, everyone did. Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler this year, neither of them beat the Mets. You want to know that? Neither of them beat the Mets.
I almost just spit out my water.
Combined 0-7 against the Mets this year.
I knew that we beat them a lot, but I thought maybe they snuck one in.
No, never did. Aaron Nola
God.
against the Mets was 0-4, 3.99 ERA across 29 and third innings. Zach Wheeler was 0-3
Cut his mic.
with a 4.91 in 22 innings.
Oh my God. That's like the last thing I wanted to hear.
Against everyone else, Aaron Nola was 11-9 with a 3.18 in 173 innings.
Oh.
And Wheeler was 12-4 against every team not named the Mets with a 2.47 ERA.
So what I'm hearing is these guys would finish, what, like 1-2 in the Cy Young if they didn't pitch against
If
the
the
Mets
Mets
this
didn't
year?
exist, these guys would have both had historical seasons. And Zach Wheeler piling a historical season on top of another historical season. Zach Wheeler would be in the midst of one of the greatest 2-year runs in the National League we've seen in the last couple of decades. But no, the Mets existed. They hit him. They beat these guys every single time they stepped on the mound. And now they're in the World Series.
Yeah, that's rubbing salt in the wound.
Yep. So
No one feels fresh.
prediction?
Prediction, Astros in 4. Astros in 4.
No way. Astros in 6.
All right, Astros in 4. Clean sweep.
Go Stros.
Please, for the love of God.
Anything else happened this week that pissed you off?
Yeah, the Gold Gloves.
Yep, there we go. We got one.
We got one.
Mets content, baby.
We got one. We got
Listen
some Mets
up.
content here. Nice layup there. Or pass
Segue.
to the layup.
Bounce pass.
Yeah, a good bounce pass.
Yeah.
We're talking about defense now.
Backdoor cut. Layup.
Nothing more
They get back on D.
that I love talking about than Gold Glove controversy. Which
Probably,
there's
probably some great YouTube videos.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's some controversy out there, especially in the Mets world. Now, first and foremost, let's give a shout out to our boy Tomás Nido, aka Tomás Nithro, nominated for the Gold Glove at catcher, should win it.
Yes, should win it.
100% should win it.
Probably won't.
Probably won't because I don't know who picks the Gold Gloves. Is it Rawlings or is it writers?
I think the way it's voted on is like actual coaches.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, I know.
Even less qualified to
Right?
make a decision on this.
But the catchers nominated in the National League are Nido, Real Muto, and Varsho. So the two best hitting catchers.
And one guy who played the outfield.
Yeah.
Because Varsho caught, I guess he technically caught enough innings to qualify, but he played the outfield for the Diamondbacks, let's be honest.
It's also, I mean, call a spade a spade. I think you should be nominated for the catcher Gold Glove if you could play another position above average.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah,
almost
that's true.
like that's almost cooler than just being a catcher.
Yeah, no, Dalton Varsho is an incredible talent, but Tomás Nido, I think, should take it home. Real Muto gets to be the National League champion. Give Tomás Nido the Gold Glove.
Varsho this year, guess how many innings he caught?
450.
175.
That's like not nearly enough to be nominated for the catching spot.
It's like 20 games.
That is 20 games. 29
he
in a game.
appeared. He started 18 games at catcher.
That's
And he
shocking.
appeared in 31.
And they said that's our guy. That's our
Yeah.
third choice, so it's got to be Nido then.
I guess.
Let's go Tomás Nido. Mets'd up bump. Let's get it even more.
Varsho is nominated for outfield and utility, which we'll talk about in a second.
Who's the other catcher then?
Guess.
Guess Jacob Stallings.
Nope. You have an aversion to him.
I have an aversion.
Yeah, strong one.
Strong Yadier Molina.
No.
Travis d'Arnaud.
Yep.
Oh God, I'm getting mad. Getting really mad. I mean, Travis d'Arnaud just can't throw out a runner, but he does catch well.
Tomás Nido, Gold Glove.
That's what you need to know. But now, to get into the controversy.
Yeah.
Jeff McNeil and Francisco Lindor somehow did not find their way nominated anywhere on this list.
Or Luis Guillorme.
It's unbelievable. One, let's start with Francisco Lindor. Maybe the best defensive shortstop in baseball.
Probably one of the most valuable defensive players.
At least maybe the top 3 best defensive shortstops in baseball. If we really want to get crazy, I know why he's not on there, and it's stupid. It's dumb. It's because of DRS, which you got to be half an idiot to use that still when you have OAA and better stats. But it doesn't make any sense to me that he does not get on.
Even as bad as he was in DRS, Francisco Lindor still, in terms of Fangraphs, had the 8th highest rating of any player in baseball and the 2nd highest of any player who called shortstop their home full time.
Yeah, 13 OAA. If you guys don't know, OAA, outs above average, DRS, defensive runs saved. OAA is the superior stat when calculating defense. There's still no perfect stat.
And OAA works. I don't know exactly how DRS works. I kind of just like.
I know how DRS works
Okay, good.
relatively.
So
it's
we'll
kind
make a good trade.
It's kind of like UZR in that it takes the play and puts it up against how many other like shortstops relatively make that play, but I don't think it takes into account positioning. And I don't think it takes into account like field sizes and like scenarios. I think it's just very much like if 75% of shortstops make this play, you get X amount of points because you made it.
OAA has a blind spot positioning too, correct?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Jonathan Scope has the highest OAA I think ever for an infielder.
He also has the highest defensive rating on Fangraphs of any player.
But there's a huge blind spot because I've watched, I'm not joking, 2 to 3 hours of Jonathan Scope taking ground balls, and the guy makes unimpressive play after unimpressive play, and he somehow has the highest defensive rating.
OAA takes all of the plays you made, some with DRS, but I think they just take a little more of like a holistic view. And how they give each ball in play a probability similar to how like expected batting average and xWOBA are created, and your ability to like stop a play that is theoretically a difficult play in terms of the probability that play is converted into an out or even just a ball in the glove.
And I mean, it is against the average fielder too.
Yeah,
It's kind of like war in a way.
Yeah,
like
defense.
what's the average shortstop make? And they do break it down by positioning too, where back, in, left, and right. So it does tell you which way guys are better defensively.
Yeah, and Francisco Lindor was in the 98th percentile in that statistic. And,
left out.
And he played the most innings.
Who were the other guys? Was it was Miguel Rojas, right?
Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson probably will win. If anyone has a claim besides Lindor, it is Dansby because he played a great year there. He played 162 games. They only got 161 in because he broke his finger that one day in the door in San Francisco. But so Miguel Rojas, Lindor, and I think it might have been Edman.
I think it's Ha-Sung Kim. It is
Ha-Sung Kim, you're right.
Which he's a good fielder.
He's a good fielder. They're all good fielders, but just like watching Francisco Lindor day in and day out, for him not to be nominated for that award was egregious and preposterous.
Now here's a big one.
Yes.
Jeff McNeil. Jeff McNeil not being nominated not only at second base, but the utility one felt like it was made for him and Luis Guillorme.
Yeah.
And to have both of them not on, especially Jeff McNeil, is preposterous.
It's kind of funny because we had this utility conversation like a month ago about, I don't know, everything is blown together here, but like we kind of talked about like where a player becomes a utility player and where a player is not a utility player.
Yeah.
And Tommy Edman was nominated for this award. He's probably going to win it. I think the reason he was nominated there was because he basically split his time evenly this year between second base and shortstop.
Yeah.
Played them both very well. Tommy Edman is a very good ball player.
Good defensive player.
Great. But the whole thing we're talking about is that I don't know how much of a utility player you are when you're playing two positions that are basically the same-ish?
Yeah.
As similar as two positions are in the entire baseball field, basically. Besides the same corner outfield spots are second short in the infield.
Relatively speaking, every shortstop can play second base, and most second basemen can play shortstop.
Yeah.
Now, the quality changes.
For sure.
But the idea is you're a middle infielder.
Yes, and Tommy Edman also played 8 innings in the outfield, so I guess that secured his utility stats. And also Brendan Donovan nominated for this award.
Yeah.
I guess he's fine. I guess they just wanted to get the Cardinals some love.
Yeah, really. I mean, just keep on keeping on.
The way that Jeff McNeil played two vastly different positions at incredibly high level this year, between corner, outfield, and second base, like that I think is the real crux of his utility award.
And at second base, he was disgusting. DRS, he was positive at 3, which I think put him like in the top 5. And OAA at second base, he had 7, which was the second most, only behind Tommy Edman. So the fact that he's not included on this list anywhere, especially at the second base position, is baffling to me. I mean, we watch this guy every single day, and I know whoever decides this, I don't know who it is still, doesn't get to. But
here's a good one, Brendan Donovan. I'm gonna use OAA for this one just because I'm on Baseball Savant right now. He played 3 positions primarily this year: right field, third base, second base. He only had a positive OAA in one of them.
And he got the utility.
Yeah, and that was the position he played objectively the least.
Interesting.
He was still -3 outs above average on the season.
What was McNeil in left field or in the outfield just in general? Do you have that for me, or are we gonna have to look that one up?
It's coming in a moment.
I mean,
overall he was 95th percentile in outs above average.
No, he was great. Like I think
in left field he was -1, but I mean that's pretty.
Now I will say I think
forth.
the one problem with Guillorme could be that maybe he didn't qualify for enough innings. Yeah, because I'm lowering the numbers at second base, and there's just not. I think I'm at 350 innings right now.
He played more third base.
Yeah, he played a lot more third base. I guess that's a good point, but he should have been utility if Brendan Donovan's getting there.
That's Another one that was egregious that we haven't gotten to yet is right field.
Yeah.
Or left field. Right field.
What do you mean?
Juan Soto.
Yes. Right field.
That was right field. Yeah. Juan Soto was nominated for right field. And anyone who watched baseball, any
Christian
of these
Yelich
advanced
too,
stats
by
that
the
we
way.
use, it's just these are objectively. Juan Soto was objectively one of the worst fielders in baseball this year. He seemed to not care that much about it,
Which is fine.
Yeah,
When you hit like Juan Soto.
for sure. And he made a couple bad plays also in the postseason that were on national television.
Wait, did you see my tweet?
Yes.
Yeah, I tweeted out the picture that the Padres posted when Soto got nominated, as they should. I mean, it's their player. Congratulating him on winning his Gold Glove. And as soon as he made like those 2 botched plays in right field, I tweeted out saying, congratulations to your National League nominee, Juan Soto. After the game, like 30 minutes after the game ended, Juan Soto liked it. And I do believe it is the last tweet he's liked on Twitter since that day. I'm about to go check.
That's kind of funny.
But big week for me with player interaction.
Yeah, huge week player interactions. But yeah, it was a little bit annoying that the Mets got
Second to last, by the way. Second to last.
What was the last one?
I love watching Juan Soto and Bryce Harper come up with clutch hits for their teams in the playoffs. It would be awesome if the Nats could get somebody like that one day. Shout out to Danny, Nats baseball. That's awesome. That's a good tweet.
It's a good tweet.
It's a great. I'm gonna retweet it. That's a good tweet.
That's a great tweet. Oh god, hey, it's a good point, but it's a little frustrating that we had to endure all that we had to endure in the Mets world, and then just like just the most insignificant, annoying, just like little slap in the face that none of our players were nominated for Gold Gloves.
Besides Tomás Nido.
Besides Tomás Nido, who again,
and Taijuan Walker had a
year.
case at pitcher too.
Major case. Even Brandon Nimmo had the case.
Yeah, Brandon Nimmo
Brandon had a fantastic year in center field.
Starling Marte played a great right field, better than Juan Soto.
Yeah, way better than Juan Soto.
I'm sure Marcano played a better left field than
month.
Christian Yelich.
It's the whole thing was and you know what? But also we know just from historically the Gold Gloves awards are poppycock.
Yeah, they're meaningless.
Pure trash. Derek Jeter won like 12 in a row.
Not meaningless to the players. The players do care about it a lot.
Absolutely. So that's why it's even stupider that they don't really take that the best players don't win them.
It's an accolade. It's something like having a Gold Glove in your house probably has to be like pretty cool.
Here's one. In terms of all the trophies, it's probably one of the coolest ones looking wise.
For sure.
Right? Like the Gold Glove.
Yeah, the Gold Glove. Like everybody sees that and you know the name of the award just simply because if you were like don't know anything about baseball, you go, that's a Gold Glove.
Yeah,
like,
no matter what.
No matter what. Silver Slugger, like Silver Bat.
Yeah. What about the Raleigh's Relief Man?
Oh, that was always my favorite.
The Cy Young Award is pretty normal. It's just a plaque with a guy with a two-seam grip on it.
Yeah. Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, future Met. No, I don't know, guys. If the Mets trade for Shohei Ohtani, that'd be kind of unbelievable.
Be sick. It'd be I'd love it.
Yeah.
I'd be really happy to get Shohei Ohtani on the New York Mets. But is it really a possibility? No, but like maybe, but also no, but could be.
I don't know.
Like, I wish I knew. I wish I could have a better answer, but
I think like the phrase "killing two birds with one stone" was kind of invented for this exact moment. Like, oh, you need an ace and a lefty power bat. All right,
lefty
go get one.
Good DH. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of trades thrown around on Twitter recently. I won't say by who, but they're pretty insane. I don't think.
Well, the best part of the offseason is people trade ideas.
Trade Twitter's fun.
Trade Twitter's incredible.
Trade Twitter's fun. We're gonna do some trade talk on here, I think, too.
Yeah,
like come up with some
trade talk. And
I'll come up with a crazy trade right
now.
now.
You guys send us some nuts ones, but it's just like there's that one website, the MLB Trade Calculator.
Oh my!
People are like, oh look, it makes sense.
Oh, that website's horrible.
Like, why couldn't we trade JD Davis and Luis Guillorme for Rafael Devers? Well, who says no?
It's the TikTok meme of the guys. Like, I give you Rock, you give me the best player in baseball.
Also, that's the Rockies too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is the Rockies.
That's what the Rockies do for their trades.
Oh my God. I mean, I really would like Shohei Ohtani, but I also can't really talk about it too much because there's actual still baseball going on and it doesn't matter yet.
Yeah, I mean Mike Trout too. I'd like Mike Trout.
Yeah, I'd like who else would I like on this Mets team? I'd like a lot of players.
Yeah.
Mike Trout would be one of them for sure.
Verlander would be good.
Yeah, Carlos Rodon. I'd love.
Yeah, Carlos Rodon would be cool. Nimmo coming back would be
I'd
nice.
love to have Jacob deGrom back. That'd be fun too.
All of them.
Yeah, just bring the band back together and get a couple more pieces as well. You won't catch me complaining.
I don't know. It's hard. It's just still hard to really formulate these off-season ideas because it's not even possible. Once the winter meetings begin, then we're going to be into it because then everyone's going to be into it. But there's a World Series to be played. This is some real baseball. And this is probably going to be a pretty compelling series too.
I think even though I said it's going to be a sweep, that's mostly just because I have to do that. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to say that, and I hate the Phillies so much that I'm really hoping that. But it's probably going to be a really, really close series, actually.
Both teams will probably get more hits in like the first couple innings of the first game than Aaron Judge had the entire postseason. No, they will.
Yeah.
That's just data. That's analytics.
Yeah, that's what analytics does to you. That's why Aaron Judge couldn't hit this past series because the analytics got to him. Too much info.
Yeah, too much info at the end of the year. You know, too many at bats in the leadoff spot.
What a historical season for him to just go over in the.
Good Mets news here. Luis Rojas was interviewing with the Marlins. He actually did not get the job. So
No, Skip Shoemaker. Schumacher. I think it's whatever it is. Former Cardinal.
Feels like a Marlins thing where it's like, who's a winning organization? Let's bring in one of their guys.
Bring in a Cardinal.
Yeah.
Skip Shoemaker. I don't know anything about him as a manager. I'm sure he's
close-
young, so he's probably okay.
He was close to a couple jobs last few off seasons.
Definitely. I think he was close to the Padres one.
Yeah, he was. I mean,
One with Bob Melvin. Bob Melvin not using Josh Hader.
freaking Bob Melvin. Oh, you know what else that interesting none of us talked about today is literally the 36th anniversary of Game 6 1986 World Series.
There you go. All right.
October 25th.
Very good.
Yeah, my dad told me that on the way here. I was like, that's a good nugget. I'm going to throw that in.
Been unbelievably tuned out to Mets info.
I mean, you guys probably know we've been unbelievably tuned out. I think our Mets'd account has tweeted like 3 times.
Yeah.
Since the Padres game ended.
It's tough. It's hard to tweet when there's nothing going on, and we love you guys interacting with us, but we're not going to tweet out like absolute nonsense just surely because.
Like today, I was about to tweet like, what do you guys want to hear us talk about today? But I knew everyone was going to ask about like Jacob deGrom or like
Shohei Ohtani,
all this crazy stuff. Like I didn't have any answers for anything like that.
And as soon as World Series Game 4 ends and the Astros hoist the trophy, I'll be happy to talk about it for hours with you guys. I'll be excited because it will officially be the off season. But until then, I just don't really want to acknowledge that the Mets season's over just yet. I'm not really happy to. I kind of just want to forget that what happened in the wild card, and we'll see you in November to talk about that stuff. But
It's November, like next week.
yeah, we'll see you in November next week. Our next episode.
The World Series doesn't even start until Friday.
Yeah, our next episode is what? November. I don't know how many days. What day was this? 25th, November 2nd. Is that the day?
Yeah.
So I mean, the series could be over by then. We could be talking about the World Series being done.
you really hammering that in, huh?
Yeah, of course. I'm trying to get that going. What's been going on in your life though? If you're not watching baseball, what have you been doing? Because we now have 3 to 4 hours a day that are just completely free.
It's crazy. I've been watching a lot of football.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of work for Mojo there.
A lot of fantasy.
A lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of fantasy. Having a great season overall.
I had a rough week.
I was really into the Jets for the last few weeks. Now their best 2 offensive players are out for the
Yeah,
season.
Brees Hall killed me in one of my leagues.
Brees Hall killed me as a Jets fan. This
Yeah.
is terrible. He's like the most exciting player we've had in this team in a decade, and he's gone.
I lost a fantasy
He's
game.
a running back, too. Towards ACL. Who knows what's going to happen?
I lost a fantasy game this week by 5 points because I had Marquise Hollywood Brown out for the year or whatever it is, Cooper Kupp on a bye. I had no other wide receivers. I had 3 on my team. Shame on me. Bad job.
That happens.
Pat yourself on the back. We'll do better next time. But I had to play Josh Reynolds and Michael Gallup,
tough.
and they combined for a total of 1 catch, 8 yards. So I lost there.
You'd never have been the best fantasy football player.
No, I go big. I go big. I try to win with the craziest, most. I try to thread the needle perfectly every single year, and it works like once every 5 years. But the other 4 years, I'm like close to dead last. That being said, 4-3 in that league, 5-2 in another, 1-6 or 1-6 in another. That team was bad.
There we go. There are a couple things going on in the Mets world, though, that we should talk about before we wrap up. First of all, is that Ronny Mauricio is actually just tearing apart the lead dome.
Which I feel like,
Having a
didn't he
great
do that
time.
last year too? He thrives in the Dominican Winter League.
Maybe, but I don't know. He's on exciting teams. I think he's batting next to Ellie De La Cruz.
Tigres de Licey.
Yeah, the Tigres de Licey, see. And those two are 2-3 in that batting order.
Let's go to the Winter League.
I'm down. I mean,
Spend a week in the Dominican.
I can work remote.
Yeah, it's been fun. I can work remote too.
Yeah, spend a week. That sentence is crazy. I've always had like the dream, but like me and my college friends have talked about, like just walk away from it all one day and just become diehard like Lee Dome fans, and just make that your whole life.
I think
It's like cheap beer, baseball every day.
I think Cespedes barbecue every year.
No, they go crazy
does like
for
2
it.
weeks, and they just live in the Dominican Republic, which sounds like fun, but also I don't know. I don't know how much Lee Dom I could. I don't know if I could spend 2 weeks watching Lee Dom.
Like that, those games are unbelievably electric live.
Oh, for sure.
People get
Yeah.
crazy. Even like when Ronny Mauricio hit an inside the park home run the other day, that was pretty cool. He had a little sinking line drive, center fielder dove on it, went past him. He just like cruised around the bases with those like gazelle-like strides he has.
He is so weirdly
and
fast.
when he was rounding third, he's fast, but he doesn't move quickly.
Yes,
Yeah, he's like he gets going, he's fast.
It's like a giraffe. Those giraffes run fast, technically speaking. When they get to top speed,
they cover a lot of ground.
their top speed is
They
good.
just look dumb doing it.
Yeah,
But
they don't look great.
When Ronnie was rounding third base on this play, the entire dugout was like jumping over the rail, like waving their arms, like. And when they were telling him to slide home, whoever was on base was lying down, literally completely stomach flat against the ground, just tapping the ground to show him which way to slide to get it under the tag, and it worked.
Yeah.
It's just it's electric factor down there. I think Emilio Bonifacio leads off of that team.
He does.
Yeah.
I think
Imagine
I said,
that 1, 2, 3. It's like 40, 20, 20.
I think Ronnie won like Player of the Week, or they call it MVP of the Week, which is also really funny to me. And I think Cesar Valdez, the dead fish pitcher, the guy who throws 78-mile-an-hour changeups strictly, I think won pitcher MVP of the week, which that's a thing.
One more guy I want to talk about. We should probably do a full like Arizona Fall League recap next week when it's done, or one week after that.
Probably prospect wrap up as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, that's something we probably should have been more prepared for, but we're just still like kind of in disarray from the season. Mike Vassell had a very good start for Peoria in the Fall League. Mike Vassell has a very live fastball, one of the few like low level pitching prospects the Mets hung on to after this past trade deadline.
University of Virginia, I believe.
Yes,
he was a guy who
yeah.
I think did not go to the draft out of high school and would have been like a possible first-round pick. Went to Virginia, numbers didn't do as well. Ended up, I think, maybe getting an injury at some point, and he dropped, but was a really good college pitcher.
Eighth round of the University of Virginia to deal with an injury there. But yeah, good game. It's very live fastball. I believe it's a slider is the other pitch, but it's evading me right now. And when you're out there in Arizona Fall League, Mark and I went last year. Those are some of the best minor league talent in the entire country coming together. So having good starts there and like proving yourself there goes a long way. A couple guys who we saw last year that broke out there. Logan O'Hoppe became one of the hottest prospects in baseball. Was traded by the Phillies to the Angels for Brandon Marsh, a player central to their playoff run. Ezequiel Tovar popped off there big time. Who's the guy in the Nationals you like to? TJ White, right?
Yeah.
Was he there?
No, he wasn't there.
Oh,
he was just
there?
a draft pick. But we saw Colin Holderman.
We had Colin Holderman. Owen White of the Texas Rangers came out of nowhere, became a very impressive pitching
Brett
prospect
Beatty.
for them. Yeah, Brett Beatty had a great time for us. We interviewed him there. So whenever Andres Jimenez famously broke out in the Arizona Fall League in 2019, that was actually the first time I ever got noticed for a blog on Twitter, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
Pete Alonso, the year before, no, that same year. No, it might have been the year before. He went there. Because that was before there was a lot more advanced type technology in a lot of these minor league parks. Pete Alonso went down there and just lit up the TrackMan with crazy exit velocities, and that got him on the map. So it's important to keep note of the Arizona Fall League because it is a competitive league, and these guys who go there, there's a lot of pride in it.
If you're a card guy, keep an eye out on the dudes playing well. It's a good way to make some easy money.
100%. But I mean,
anything else to talk about? I think we're good.
I think that's all I got. We're stretching.
We tried, guys. We tried to get you close to an hour here, but I think this is where we're going to wrap up episode number 146 of the Mets'd podcast. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mets'd. If you're looking for the YouTube video, New York Mets YouTube channel, go subscribe over there. And if you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Odyssey, wherever you get your podcasts, drop us a rating, drop us a review. James, where can they find you on Twitter?
James_Schiano.
Me at Giraffe Neck Mark. We'll see you guys for another episode next week. Remember, every Wednesday morning, we will have episodes out for you. So weekly podcast until something cool happens.
And keep an eye on Jay Horowitz's Best Legends podcast. We're going to be on there next week.
Yes. So keep an eye out for that, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace out, guys.
Get up, get up, get up.